Have you ever felt like the weight of everyone else's world is resting squarely on your shoulders? You are exhausted, drained, and honestly, a little bit resentful lately. You spend your nights worrying about their choices and your days trying to fix their mistakes. You think if you just try harder, you can finally save them. But I want to ask you a very honest question today. Who told you that was your job? Because there is a very thin line between being helpful and overstepping. Most of us cross that line without even realizing it. We think we are being loving, but we are actually crossing a biblical boundary that was never ours to break. If you are currently drowning while trying to keep someone else afloat, this conversation is for you. We need to talk about why you must stop trying to save everyone. Why does this matter so much? Because when you try to be the savior, you are inadvertently trying to take a seat that is already occupied by Jesus Christ himself. You were designed to be a witness, not a Messiah. You were called to be a light, not the source of the sun. There is a massive difference between those two. The Bible is very clear about our human limitations. In the book of John chapter 15 verse 5, Jesus says, "I am the vine, you are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing." This verse reminds us that even our best efforts, when detached from God's power and timing, cannot produce the lasting transformation people need. If Jesus says we can do nothing without him, why do we think we can fix a broken soul through our own sheer will and constant intervention for other people? When you try to save people, you often get in the way of what God is trying to do in their lives. You accidentally become a buffer for their necessary consequences. Here are 3 reasons why stopping your saving mission is actually the most biblical and loving thing you can do for the people you care about right now. Number 1, you are interfering with their personal responsibility. We see this principle in the book of Galatians chapter 6 verse 5, which says, "Each should carry their own load." While we are called to bear one another's burdens in times of crisis, there is a specific load of responsibility that every individual must carry before God for themselves. When you take over their load, you prevent them from growing. You keep them in a state of spiritual infancy because they never have to face the weight of life. If they never feel the weight, they will never feel the need to look up. By saving them from every storm, you are effectively saving them from finding the Savior. Your help might actually be a hindrance to their salvation. Real love knows when to step back and let a person experience the natural results of their own difficult choices. Number 2, you are disregarding the gift of free will. God is the perfect gentleman. He does not force his way into anyone's heart, so why should you try to? Think about the story of the prodigal son. His father let him go. He didn't follow him to the far country to pay his bills or clean up his mess. He stayed home and prayed. He allowed the son to reach the end of himself. If the father had saved him earlier, the son would have never come home. You have to respect that people have the right to choose, even if they choose poorly. Your job is to love them, not to control the outcome of their journey. Control is often just fear wearing the mask of compassion. You are afraid they will fail, so you step in, but growth often happens in the middle of failure. Number 3, you are neglecting your own soul and calling. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and trying to save everyone will leave you bone dry and very bitter. In the book of Matthew chapter 22 verse 39, we are told to love our neighbors as ourselves. This implies a healthy level of self-care and stewardship. If your pursuit of saving others is destroying your mental health, your marriage, or your walk with God, then it is no longer a holy mission. It is an idol. You have a specific race to run. If you are too busy trying to run everyone else's race, you will eventually collapse on your own path before reaching the finish. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you change how you care. It means you move from being the primary actor to being the secondary prayer warrior in their lives. So, how do we actually walk this out? How do we stop the saving cycle? It begins with a shift in your perspective and a total surrender of your control. First, you must recognize that only God can change a human heart. You can provide the information, the support, and the love, but only He provides the true transformation. Second, you need to set healthy boundaries. This is not being mean, it is being wise. It is saying, I love you too much to help you destroy yourself. Boundaries are the fences that keep the garden of your life healthy. Without them, people will trample over your peace and leave you with nothing left to give anyone. Third, focus on prayer over pressure. Instead of talking to them about God every single second, try talking to God about them more often. Prayer is your most powerful tool. When you pray, you are acknowledging that God is in control. You are handing the person over to the only one who can actually do something about their current situation. It takes more faith to trust God with someone's life than it does to try and manage it yourself. Surrender is an act of deep biblical worship and total trust. You are not the junior savior. You are a child of God who is called to walk in peace. Stop carrying the weight that was meant for the cross alone. When you release them to God, you aren't abandoning them. You are placing them in the most capable hands in the entire universe. That is where they belong anyway. Your future is not meant to be defined by the chaos of others. You are called to a life of purpose, clarity, and rest in the finished work of Christ. You can breathe now. The pressure is off. You can love people deeply without losing yourself in their darkness. Let God be God, and you simply be you. If you are ready to let go of the savior complex and trust God with the people you love, I want you to make a declaration of faith today. Drop a comment with this: God, I trust you with them. Let that be your first step toward true peace and healthy biblical boundaries in your life today.